Alright, hey guys and welcome back to Final Fantasy VI. We've run into a bit of a problem. So, some things that happen in my LPs is that I record and then my recording fucks up. And I'm not going to go through all the angry rant shit and stuff like that because I don't want to waste an episode. But basically, I am fed up with this happening. And I am going to try my best to just record an hour at a time because I think the only reason it's fucking up is because I'm recording so much at a time that when I try to stop it, it doesn't stop. And I don't know why it would do that, but I think it's because I'm recording for so long at a time. So I'm going to record for an hour at a time, end the video, record another hour, end the video, and I'll just do it in hours. Because when I finished the recording, or I forced stop the recording actually, it was at like 45 minutes for video, but the audio from my mic was at like 3 hours and 35 minutes, so that was very confusing. So I'm just going to backtrack over what happened. There's not much stuff that did happen, honestly. Like, the stuff that did happen, it wasn't plot relevant, I would like to say. It was more just reuniting with friends and stuff, so don't think you've missed too much. I didn't go to the final boss, I didn't do shit like that, etc. So, from where we were last time, we were at Nakia, and I said I was going to go down to the south, to go to the house at the south, and you'll notice that we got Terra now. Terra was in that city to the south, called Mobliz. Mobliz was heavily destroyed, and Floraz was was called Mama by all the kids because the parents had died saving the kids. And there were two older kids, or teenagers I guess, called Katarina and Duam. And he tried convincing Terra to come help, and she's all like, "Oh, I'm so weak now," and then this big monster called Humbubba comes up. And I kept on making jokes about it sounding like and Terra tries fighting him, and it's a scripted battle. You can't do shit to him. You can't kill him. You can't do anything. And so Terra ends up dying, and then Celise, or Saturn as I've called her, and Neons comes in, which is Sabin. And you're able to kick its ass, and it runs away. And Terra ends up saying how she just wants to stay and protect the kids, and so you end up leaving. And so where you have to go is Nakia, and when you go to Nakia, you find out in the pub, well, you would have found this out anyway, we went to the ship, remember, in Nakia, and it said that this is the Crimson Robbers boat. But if you go to the pub, you can find out the Crimson Robbers are in there, and they're all talking about their boss, and they're going to go to Figara Castle to get all the treasure because they've actually escaped from it. And so when you talk to all of them, they end up leaving for the boat. You go to the boat. Is it the boat you go to? No, you go to the store marketplace above the pub. And you'll find someone who looks a little familiar, Spikes, but he calls himself Gerard, which is a funny anagram for Egard, which is his name. I think it was Edgard or Egard. I think it's Egard because Gerard is an anagram for Egard. And he ends up declining the fact that he Spikes and stuff, and so you end up hitching around his boat by secret, following him to, where do you go? South Figaro, I think? And the what do you call them? The bandits that he's the boss of end up showing you a secret path through the Figaro cave, if you remember that cave. Basically, when you're at Figaro Castle and you go to the South Figaro cave, remember right above you there's this little lake with a turtle in it? Basically what they do is they feed the turtle so it goes to the center, and you jump onto the turtle's back and into the doorway at the back. And that doorway is actually a secret entrance into the castle. And so the castle is actually being trapped under the desert by sandworms. So you end up sneaking right in, you end up going through the castle, yada yada yada, not much shit happens. And you end up finding the engine room. You finally go into the engine room, and it turns out the engine room has all these tentacles stuck in it because of the sandworm monsters and stuff like that. And so the bandits go get their treasure. Spikes ends up admitting that he wasn't able to say who he was because he's the king of Figaro, and if these guys had figured that out, they would have killed him, not called him boss, and wouldn't have let him found this way. And he needed a way into the castle to save his people no matter what. So he ended up falling that low to protect them, which was pretty admirable on my part. On his part. I love it. So you end up killing the tentacle monsters, the engine starts getting fixed. Funny quote, by the way, you end up hiding. So when the bandits come out, they don't know where the boss is, and they say, "Oh my god, this boss lasted less time than the last boss." Oh, damn it. Oh, it's hilarious. They're bossless again. I love the funny quotes in this game. So yeah, after you get the castle working again, you can go to the surface and you can go to Kohlingen, I think it is. You remember Kohlingen? Not much memorable stuff about it, but basically when you go to Kohlingen, you run into Zetsa. And Zetsa's like, oh, I lost my wings, which is his airship. And Saturn convinces him to basically look for a new dream and help them get Kefka away. So he says, yeah, it's a good idea, I'm going to get myself a new pair of wings. And so you end up following him to the east, to the west, of Kohlingen, where he has made a burial site for his past girlfriend called Daryl, or Daryl. I don't know, it's spelled D-A-R-I-L-L, but it sounds like a boy's name, but I'm guessing it's a girl's name. Unless he was gay and the sprite just looks like a girl. Because the sprite looks like a girl, but it sounds like a guy's name, so I'm not really sure what it's meant to be. I'm calling it a girl just because of the sprite, though. But if it's actually a boy, then I will admit my mistake. But basically, you end up opening a passage into the grave. And fucking hell, he made a great grave for her. It's like vast, it's giant, it's basically a labyrinth. It's awesome. It doesn't have that much tough enemies. There are 2 bosses in it. One's an optional boss. If you remember at the start of the game, there was this snail called Ymir. There is a cousin of Ymir, or something like that. It looks like Ymir, called, I forgot his name, but I was able to beat the shell this time. So they ended up dying. And I got a few swords in there, I don't remember the exact ones. The final boss is Durahan, though. By the way, the Ymir cousin thing was a monster in the box, so it was an optional boss. I forgot what you get from it. But Durahan, when you beat it, there's no real plot as to why Durahan was there. I like to believe that it's Daryl's ghost. I don't really know. Because it's right where this giant flower thing saying he lies Daryl is, and Durahan is like someone who's lost their head or something. So I don't know. Could be Daryl dead. No one even knows it. Who knows? Basically, when you go to the next door, you end up going into this 2D stairway, so you can go down, and you end up going through Zetsa's memories, and it basically goes through the tale of Daryl making up a rocket ship. And it took me a while. You'll actually realize the rocket ship is the one we got right here. It's our new airship. So the backstory was that Zetsa wanted to raise Daryl, and Daryl had made a rocket ship airship, which is basically a rocket propeller kind of thing on top, but it's an airship on the bottom. Like, it's basically an open airship like Zetsa's was, but it's a rocket ship on the top. I'm not sure if that rocket ship's enterable. They didn't say anything about that, so I'm just going to assume that it's not, and it's just the engine. And so they race for a while. Zetsa's obviously slower, and Daryl says she wants to go check out the stars closer than anyone has, and Zetsa makes a joke saying, oh, okay, be back on a hill by nighttime. And he ends up waiting on that hill, and she doesn't go back, and it takes a whole year for him to realize that the rocket ship was destroyed in a valley. And it took me a while to realize this, but unless, of course, the rocket ship was enterable, I thought she lost control of the ship, but no, if there was no way into the rocket ship, because they don't imply there is, then she must have suffocated because she went out of the atmosphere. So, yeah. It proves how less tech these people are. They're able to make cool robots and stuff like that with Magitech, but they're not able to make, what do you call it? Oh, I'm trying to think of the word. Like when you make your personal oxygen. I forget what it's called. Yeah, anyway. So basically, Zetsa had remade the spaceship and stuff like that and got it back for you. For him. Put it here in this grave, and you end up taking it for your own airship. Saturn ends up making him follow this pigeon to where she believes Lox would be. It doesn't lead where Lox is. It leads to this girl getting all these flowers and letters and stuff like that. So basically, after that point, you can actually go straight for the final boss. But I want to take time to get every single person of our friends. The only person I can't get back is Shadow, because when we're on the floating continent before the overthrow one, you had a time limit, and you had a choice. You could either jump straight for the airship or you could wait. Turns out if you waited, Shadow would have come with you. But I didn't know that, so I just assumed we had to get off as soon as possible. And so I jumped, but it turns out if you'd waited, Shadow would be in this cave, but since Shadow died, Realm was in that cave. And yeah, so there was a huge Realm side quest I'm not going to go into. Basically, this guy's painting was cursed, and you had to fight it, and Realm was trying to fix it as well. Which makes no sense, because she was in Thamaza, and yet she goes all the way to Jador, which is like an ocean away, so I don't know how she did that. Realm gets on your team. Remember when I mentioned we went to this city, this girl was getting flowers and letters? Turns out those letters were being written by Cyan, because he realized this girl's boyfriend was dead. He wanted to keep her company. And then he was going to write a letter. When you go find him, you find out he was going to go write a letter of apologizing. But he didn't get to send it because you found him and he ends up joining you. And in that same cave where you find Cyan, you can fight this dragon, Stormdrake, who's one of the 8 dragons, and I plan to find the rest. Hey, Mom. Let's see, who else? Outside of the same cave that you find Realm, called the Cave of Velt, it's actually the north and eastern island. A bit lower, like a bit on the bottom of the north and eastern island. I can actually fly there right now. Because it took me ages to find this. I didn't even know where it was until... Like, I had a picture of it, so that helps me. But this is the Cave of Velt right here. So, yeah. This is where you find Realm, if you lost Shadow. If you found Shadow, Realm will be in Jador. So, yeah. She will be in the back mansion, you have to find your way through it and stuff like that. But if you run outside this place with only 3 or less party members, you'll run into Gav after a while. And he will join your party if you don't hit him. Who else is there? I can't remember. Who else is there? Oh, there's Strago. That tower I was at before. I forgot what it's called. If you have Realm in your party, Realm will distract Strago, and Strago will get out of his little trance thing and come join you again, so that's pretty easy. That tower you find Strago at, though, is very hard. It's full of magical creatures that you can't actually fight normally, you have to use magic on them. It's so annoying. I'm not going to go into there ever, because I don't like those kind of things where they restrict your attack patterns. I mean, I might try, but I'd have to, like, figure out what can fight what. But it'd be very annoying for me. So basically, I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything that I did. There are a lot of side things I did that I can't remember, like I was a lot of exploring, grinding, a lot of redoing stuff. Oh yeah, I went to the... What was it? We got a Regal crown. I think it was in Figaro Castle? And I gave that to the Colosseum. And I ended up fighting this thing called Death Machine. And I had a Reflector Ring. So when he used Death on me, it got reflected, he got deathed, and he got killed. And he ended up getting this body armor, which is one of the strongest body armor in the game. So that was pretty cool. But I think that's everything. Oh, we also got Fixed Dice, which is, oh my god, it makes Zetz like the strongest party member ever. Basically, I went to Kefka's Tower, which is the final boss of the game, and what you have to do is you have to split your party into three parties. Because there's 3 different areas. It'll be like the Moogle thing, and it would be like when you had to fight, protect the Esper from Kefka. You have to press select to go between them. And that's why I want to get all my party members, because then I want to level them up maxed. Because I also got this item called Growth Egg, which which gives you twice the amount of XP on the person who has it. So I want to max everyone to level 99 after a while equipping them with a good Esper. Because there's I believe there's an Esper I want to get later. That gives you like plus 50% HP. And so I could get everyone up to fucking heaps of HP. So, what do you call it? Sorry. Getting distracted. So yeah, I want to get everyone, except for Shadow, because I can't. Maximum up to level 99 by also using espers to increase their stats as much as possible. I also want to get as much espers as possible. Actually, no, I only want to get one esper, Bahamut. That's the one that gives you plus 50% HP for every level up. And then after I do that, we can probably go straight for the final boss. So that's everything. I'm sorry that I had to do a recap instead of actually going through it myself, but fuck my recording. I'm going to try my best from now on. I'm going to set a timer on my phone whenever I'm recording, and every time it goes to an hour, I'm going to stop and then redo, and then do another one. So it doesn't do that again. Sorry again. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my guide, because my guide lets me know where I can find all my party members. And I also need to find a guide for looking up Bahamut, because I'm on the side quest part, so it's going to be very hard looking for it for myself. Okay, so we're going to Nash, North Central Isle continent on the west side. Right here, I believe. Maybe... Also, can we just admit that this song is great? I love this song. Alright. Oh, Lone Wolf. Hey, haven't we met someplace before? Whatever. There's nothing in this town anyway, except for that one lousy Moogle. Doors are all locked and you'd have to be some kind of treasure hunter to get them open. Okay, so let me show you Zetz's ability. First it's that. Okay, so here it is. He rolls 3 dice, and depending on the number, it's attack. So it can literally go up to 9999. And I think if you give him Genji's glove, I think that's the one that increases the amount of attack he can do. He can do 99999. I forget though. Hey, Mug. Koopa, Koopa! Oh, gum, yeah. I thought you don't die, Koopa. I'm so glad you're alive, Koopa. I'll help you fight, Koopa. Yeah. I read that Yeti will come too soon. Along too, he'll be a big help, Koopa. He can be a little wild, though, Koopa. He should be here in the mine somewhere. He'll help us if I order him to. Let's look for him, Koopa. Let's go. Malulu's Charm. Let's, first I need to get Hermes stuff? Where is it? Hermes sandals. Okay, let's see what this Malulu's thing is. Or is it not a relic? Prevents all random enemy encounters. What? That's crazy, man. Where is it? Maybe she can't wear it? Oh, maybe only Mog can hold it. That makes sense. Okay, let's use, teleport. Cool. Also, I want to unequip everyone. All members. Alright. So let's optimize everyone. Optimize and optimize. No. See, fixed starts is known as one of the weaker things, but that's only because it's a low attack normally. But with the dice thing, it's amazing. Okay, so let's see if you can hold this. So, Genji Glove. Allows the wearer to equip a weapon in each hand. Oh, okay. There you are. Malulu's Charm. Wait, what was that? I saw something else. That was a weird name. Changes the slot command to Guild Toss. Ooh, I'm gonna try that. I wonder what that does. I mean, it reminds me of that skill in Final Fantasy V, I think it was, where you could become ninjas or samurais or something. And there was a move that was fucking OP. It, like, threw coins at everyone and wasted your money, but attacked everyone for so much damage. It was amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna put the Genji Glove on Terra. Cool. I'm also gonna switch some Espers up. So, what's like Shimmy? Like Shmi? Ooh, Karaga! Oh, yes. Restores HP to all allies. Cool. Fenrir creates illusionary images of all the party. And then I want to kill him with Carbuncle. Because we need that, reflecting shell. Here we go. Oh, hi there. Ice Dragon. I'm gonna do Desert. Guild Toss. Let's see what that does. Ooh. There we go. Six dragons remaining. Hello? Oh my. So Zetz is the only one that's going to be able to do good damage here. Because if he's broken dice thing, doesn't even it ignores defenses. It's amazing. There we go. Master new dance. So humans broke my seal of ice. Humans who possess magicite. Just who are you? I suppose it's of little consequence. But what of this devastation that fills the air? Could the war of the Magi have lasted 1,000 years? That foolish unending war, You would seek to put an end to it. Then I shall put my trust in you. Nice. Volramund. Oh, Valagram. Sorry, I thought it was Volramund for some reason. Oh. There's an opening in the cliff. Hop into it, sure. Oh. Where are we? Monster in a box. Tonberry! Sensing you guys in like since Final Fantasy VIII, I think. What the hell is going on? Oh, it's got holy. I didn't notice that. Jeez, it's a long animation. Jeez, this animation is so long. Sorry, it's just I'm fast forwarding through it because of that. There we go. And there we go. And 5 magic. Zetzel learned Reflect. Zetzel learned Thundara. Tame Minerva Bastia. Oh, you can get it from here as well. That's what I got from the Colosseum for exchanging the Regal Crown. Okay, also, I didn't do this before, I'm sorry. I want to see, first of all, how good are you with this so far? 22. What's Valgraman like? Veligarmanda. Hits enemies with fire, ice, and lightning. Ooh, gas spells. Oh, that's nice. Also, I want to see what they get from leveling up. So, stamina +1, nothing. HP +10, magic +1, strength +1, nothing. Nothing. Magic +1, HP +10%, MP +10%. Nope. Nothing. Oh, that one's good. MP +30%. So Fenrir and Bahamut, when I get it, will be my main leveling up duo for if I want high MP and high health. So nice. Okay. So. What I want so far. So I want Gom. Oh, I need to resurrect him. I'm an idiot. I'm a bad owner. Alrighty. That's good. Oh, I just realized this. Pink Gauntlet. Oh. Hi. What's with this carving? Looks like it's burned. Is that thing stuck in the eye socket? Magicite? Remove the magicite from the eye bone carving? Sure. Midgard Samar Magicite. What the hell? Oh, hi there. Alright, I'm gonna do... Oh, Snowman Rondo. Well, that was easy. I'm your boss, Kupo. You're gonna join us, Kupo.
Okay, yes, welcome, boss.
Yeti with love for bone carving, stronger than a Gygus, but a bit unruly. Umaro. I like that name.
Umaru. Umaru, yes, boss, me join you.
Umaru, no slouching now, Kupo.
Yes, sir. Me wait, big flying ship.
But I got 3 party members only. I thought you would join me. Okay, I'm fine. Whee! Alright, well, let's teleport. Whee! Alright, let's go.